So the topic that I'm presenting is sexual assault, and let's get right into it. So what is sexual assault, right? The public health issue being addressed today is sexual violence. Sexual violence is a public health issue being fought on a national scale, from national level to a more granular level, such as sexual assault on college campuses, for example, right? A few examples of this is unwanted touching, and this can also happen anywhere at parties, the workplace, even in college classes. But what's the operational definition for this, right? So when we get down to like the nuts and bolts and everything, the definition is when a person is forced to engage in sexual activity against their will, or when a person of any gender touches any person sexually without their consent. We have many preconceived notions made on sexual assault. This is not solely limited to cases of rape. For example, the operational definition is the following, as I just mentioned. Another example of sexual assault can be seen in various aspects of the workplace. The workplace is one of the places where sexual assault most likely occurs because coworkers between different genders get a bit too comfortable and end up touching each other without consent and having those conversations, those very important preliminary conversations when working with each other. This is why boundaries are extremely important, which we will touch on further in the presentation. So what's really the importance of this, right? What's the magnitude and distribution of sexual assault? So for the purposes of this presentation, I'm going to focus solely on sexual assault in the United States. According to planstree.inc, there are over 463,000 cases of rape and abuse victims every year. Its distribution is not much better. More specifically, according to Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, sexual assault occurs nearly every 68 seconds. Of these sexual assault cases, there seems to be a higher target group, right? 69% of rape victims are women between the ages of 12 to 34 years old. The reason behind this could be derived from aspects within society, such as men being physically stronger than women, leading to unwanted touching that can't be stopped even if attempted, right? Or simply the fear of putting up opposition against an aggressor. This percentage could also include people who are currently experiencing survival sex, where they are forced to have sex in order to receive shelter, food, water, and essential needs. However, when looking at sexual assault cases, I want to put out there that it's not like in the movies, when some random person, is in an alley or dark alley and something happens. The majority of these cases occur from people that are actually known to the victim. So what are the most relevant factors of sexual assault? These factors consist of, but are certainly not limited to, age, gender, ethnicity, and sexual experience. I'll touch on the last one more later. Age is a factor for various reasons. Age negatively impacts sexual appeal and general fertility as it progresses. Examples of this are wrinkles, limited ranges of motions, back problems, things that you occur and accrue as you get older that just go against sexual appeal in general. This is why people who are above the age of 60 are much less likely to be victims of rape. More specifically, 92% less likely than younger people. Gender negatively impacts women more than men due to differences in physicality, twisted logic that sex can be taken from women is played out more than the reverse, right? Ethnicity-wise, American Indian and Alaskan women have a 34% chance of being sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Mixed race women have a 24% chance, Black women a 19% chance, and white women 18% chance. Lastly, I want to touch on how sexual experience can lead to sexual assault. When someone who hasn't experienced sexual connection is put in that environment for the first time, that can lead to anxiety. Thus, they would be more likely to be afraid, frightened, or scared. When they don't want to have sex anymore, they might be too frightened to speak up or touch on the subject because they're in shock, too much in shock to properly convey their disposition. This could lead to sexual assault. But why is sexual assault really important? Like, is this really an issue to be conversed about? But to really be honest, the topic is important for many reasons. The one I will choose to highlight for the presentation is the birth of unwanted children. Sexual assault can lead to pregnancies that were never intended. This is extremely negative consequences on the childhood of the kid that is raised, if not aborted. Most likely throughout the kid's childhood, the parents will exhibit a subtle connotation that the kid's existence wasn't simply a mistake, but somewhat of a wrongdoing. This could further trickle down to a trauma for the child and even make the cycle repeat in the future. Additionally, this can create a violent culture that can grow and live on for generations past this one. So, to conclude this presentation, I'm going to leave you with two questions. Do you think rape is a problem in the United States, and why? And what do you think can be done to prevent rape? Now, I ask you this so you can truly sit with the questions and come up with answers for yourself. That is all for this presentation. Thank you, and appreciate you taking out the time to listen.